Geekazine's special coverage of BlogWorld New Media Expo New York is brought to you by GoToMeeting. Go over to GoToMeeting.com, click the Try It Free Now button, and enter in the code PODCAST for a 30-day free trial for your Mac, for your PC, for your iPad. That's GoToMeeting.com. And by Telestream and Wirecast. Create TV-style content straight from your computer. Switch cameras, put in layers, and put in titles, all through this great program right on the fly. Go over to Geekazine.com, click on the Wirecast logos to find out more.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are at BlogWorld 2011. You can cheer if you want. How y'all doing? It's the last day of BlogWorld, and we are here. Jeffrey Powers from Geekazine.com and the Tech Podcast Network, and we're ready to do a lot of different things, including me messing up with that. We'll just put that right there. How y'all doing out there in the world of the interweb? I hope you're having a great time. Waiting for peer-to-peer social networking sites. I don't know what that really means, but that's okay. I'm kidding. Anyway, how you doing? Jeffrey Powers here, Geekazine.com, of course, with the Tech Podcast Network. We got a great hour for you. I did a bunch of interviews. I scoured this floor with my scrubby, my usual scrubby, and I got a lot of great stuff. But first of all, I want to show you the floor. Everybody, say hi to the internet. One person. Okay. Of course, they're all getting ready to get food and drinks. This is the market, the last day. They're getting together. They're gravitating. They're talking. They've gone through all the sessions. They've gone through all the keynotes. We've got one more keynote tonight where they're going to be doing a little talk show going on there, and a whole bunch more. So hope you're having a great time, and we're going to spend the next hour. We're going to be talking. We're going to be showing you some of the stuff that happened over at BlogWorld this weekend. And, of course, this is all in New York City. New York City, New York City. Yes, that is correct. And we are here for you. So sit back and enjoy everything that happens. Now, to begin with, just a little bit about me. My name is Jeffrey Powers, Geekazine.com. You can find me on Twitter at Geekazine if you have any questions. So, and of course, go over to Geekazine.com. You got other questions, you want to email the questions, geekazine@gmail.com, and we will get you those. We'll get you some answers to that. BlogWorld New Media. Now, in the years past, they had BlogWorld was in Las Vegas. But this last year, about 3 months ago, they decided, hey, let's move it to the east, let's move it to the west. We're going to have a BlogWorld East in New York City, New York City, New York City, and we have BlogWorld West that's out in LA, and we're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to get a lot of people involved. So we got a lot of great people. I'm going to show you the floor camera once again. We got a lot of great people that are here for BlogWorld New Media Expo. And they came from all different places. I'm from Wisconsin. We got Missouri. We got Montana. We got New York. We got New Jersey. We got Kansas City. We got Lynette, who's right over there. Where are you from again? She's a Jersey girl. So we got all around the United States, and I know there's a couple people from England even over here. So Heidi-ho to everybody out there that's watching on the live stream. And, of course, BlogWorld New Media Expo is where we are. So got in on Tuesday. I had a lot of fun. We did a lot of pre-interviews, talked to a lot of people, a lot of conferences going on. The sessions going on. That's the word, sessions going on over in the session rooms. And, of course, got to see a little bit, talk to Mike Rotman from Streaming Garage. He is now back in L.A., so shout out to you, Mike. We also got to talk to a lot of other people. If you're watching on the stream, of course, you can go over to Geekazine.com and check it out there, or go over to Ustream and check it out there. So, in the meantime, let's get you into your first interview. The first interview we're going to have is of Social Media Club. Where'd you go? There we go. We're going to do Social Media Club interview, and this is one of the many booths that we found over at BlogWorld, right here. All right, continuing coverage of BlogWorld New Media Expo. Jeffrey Powers here. in front of
Jessica Murray, Community Manager of Social Media Club.
Now you're based in Chicago.
I am.
And the rest of Social Media Club is based in?
All 2 others are based in San Francisco, where the founders live, and it was actually the first chapter.
And the other 2 members are?
Christy.
I'm from. There's more than 2 members, but.
Christy Wells and Chris Hewer.
Okay. Now tell everybody that don't know what Social Media Club is. What's it all about?
So Social Media Club is a nonprofit, members-owned trade organization. So very similar to like a PRSA or American Marketing Association. We are the social media nonprofit equivalent for the social media professionals.
Okay. When did it all start? How did it start out?
So Social Media Club was founded in 2006. San Francisco was the first chapter. Other chapters followed, which are some of our most active, like DC, Miami, of course San Francisco, Chicago. So really active communities, all on the missions of strengthening community through sharing best practices and promoting education. So you could probably find a close chapter nearest you on socialmediaclub.org, and they typically host monthly events, again focused on education and just spreading social media awareness and learning the foundations.
Okay. And of course, in Madison, Wisconsin, we have a social media club. It's just started about a year ago. You can go to madisonsmc.org and you can find out a little bit more about that. What's the one thing that you would tell, just on a general of your experience of all these new chapters that are coming on? What's the one thing that you want to that is synonymous across all the chapters that people should know? The one little tidbit of information.
I think a lot of chapter leaders are pressured to look at it as, I don't know, that's a good question. A lot of chapter leaders go into it thinking it's going to be like to blow it out of the water immediately. And I think some might get easily disappointed if attendance isn't huge, but honestly, it's all about quality, not quantity. I've attended a ton of events across the country, several different chapters. Every community is different in their makeup because really it's a reflection of the community, the programming, the people who participate. And some of the smallest chapters, I've had the most, the best experience, conversations, and really high level content.
Now you get on Twitter once a month, correct, to help people out?
Every other month. Yeah, I'm at Jessica R. Murray, or you can also tweet me at Social Media Club.
Okay. And of course, if anybody has any questions, you can also tweet me at Geekazine, and I will get you to the right people there on that. So, all right. Well, if you are a social media professional, and of course now we've even got what's called Social Media Masters. Yep. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we are launching some regional events across the United States, and we're looking into going international in the fall, so that's exciting too. So Social Media Masters, there's been a lot of demand for, as our organization, we have a ton of professionals who have, amazing expertise and skills that we want to share with other people. So we're hosting these advanced half-day and full-day workshops at 11 different cities across the United States, and that's starting in June through September, really with the intention of having a workshop format, a lot of one-on-one, so you can walk away at the end of the day with a strategy in hand. And again, these are for intermediate to advanced social media professionals, so it's not going to be one-on-one conversation, which is really important to the people who are doing this day in, day out. And they can discuss challenges that they're encountering in their jobs and really learn a lot.
And which cities are you going to be doing that in?
We are starting in, Seattle, Denver, Phoenix, LA, Boston, Atlanta, New Jersey. There's 11 different cities. You can go check out socialmediamasters.com.
Okay, socialmediamasters.com. But to find out more about Social Media Club, you go to?
socialmediaclub.org.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time. For BlogWorld New Media Expo, this is Jeffrey Powers. All right, we are back. We're back with the, let's see if I can do this. How y'all doing? Jeffrey Powers here at Geekazine.com. We got Podcast Steve here.
How are you, Jeff?
I am doing great. How about yourself?
I'm very well.
So what brings you out to BlogWorld?
Well, I have been in podcasting for almost 7 years now, one of the early adopters. And Lynette Radio, who was our host here at the Podcasting Pavilion, said, why don't you come on up and hang out with people? And it's a chance to meet other podcasters and exchange ideas and exchange tips.
Okay. And where's your podcast at?
I am actually producing podcasts for corporate clients out of Cherry Hill, New Jersey, near Philadelphia.
Really?
And our company's professionalpodcasts.com.
Okay.
And what we do is a little bit different from what most people do. Instead of doing our own what's my favorite occupation radio show, we produce podcasts for corporate clients who want to use audio and video as a way of promoting their thought leadership and their expertise in their subject matter.
Okay. How does that differ from just doing a regular podcast?
Well, it's different because you have some challenges. I worked in corporate public relations for about 30 years. And in corporate PR, you have a lot of reviews, layers of review, legal processes that people have to go through on content before it's approved for dissemination to the public. So it's a little bit more challenging than doing a spontaneous conversation.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a little bit more scripted.
Yeah.
But the point of it is to use the podcasting channel, whether it's audio or video, in a way that allows the audience to learn from you. And so for companies that have complicated subject matter, it's a great way for them to explain it to people, and you get a chance to edit it, and you get a chance to review it and fine-tune it, but get it out to the public without it being filtered through news media who may or may not fully understand it, and in its native form. And so they can present themselves and position themselves as experts.
Okay. And I assume that you have, in some cases, where you have to sign non-disclosure agreements to talk, when they're talking about industry secrets and stuff like that.
It doesn't happen that often because most of what we're doing is going to be disseminated publicly, so they're not talking about confidential information.
Oh, so
but
you become the face of the company.
I generally become the host of the podcast because I do have some background in radio. I was a broadcast news anchor for about 5 years.
Okay.
Both during and after college. It's a long time ago, and I reached the inflection point was I can either buy groceries or I can be on the radio, but I cannot do both. And that's when I crossed over to the dark side and became a corporate PR guy.
Okay.
But my first love was really radio, and when podcasting first rose on the scene, I realized this was something I could get my teeth into and do it for corporate clients in a professional way that would make them comfortable with the idea of using the new technologies for business needs.
Do you have a favorite story that you like to tell about your podcasting actions or whatever? Yeah.
Well, we did one event where one of my clients decided to do a video podcast for the first time.
Okay.
And we were lucky enough to get the use of a studio at one of the local universities in Philadelphia. And in this studio, they had the old TV news anchor set from one of the local TV stations in Philly that had converted its studios to HD.
Okay.
And what we didn't realize at the time we taped it, in the back of the set, in the backdrop behind the speakers, were these little rectangular cutouts that were supposed to mimic little TV monitors.
Okay.
And some of them had been embedded with Temple Owl logos. It was Temple University.
Okay.
And when the client saw the video, they were surprised to see the owls showing up so clearly, and it was a challenge to get the owls out of the video.
But you did do it.
I learned a few new techniques for video production, and I'm happy to sell them to people for a price.
Well, where do they go to get that information?
They can go right to my website, which is lubetkin.net. It's LUBETKIN.net, or professionalpodcasts.com.
Professionalpodcast.com. Thank you very much, Steve, for your time.
Good to be with you.
Steve, the podcast man, here at BlogWorld New Media Expo. Thanks a lot, Steve. Right. We'll switch over to the external cam. Let's see what's going on over there. Thanks again.
My pleasure. Thanks.
All right, we got the external cam going right now. People are, of course, they're having their lunches and dinners as they give away some free food here in the last few hours of the expo hall. So. Really nice dishes. I had a nice pasta with Alfredo and a little marinara sauce, some sausage and stuff like that. So in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to get you to the next video here, the next interview. That was a company called AdFire, I think it was. So here it is. We will check it out, and we'll be right back. Continuing coverage of BlogWorld New Media Expo, Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine and the Tech Podcast Networks. We're here with Eric Hamilton and a brand new service that's in beta right now. It's called AdSmoke and VidSmoke. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Tell us a little bit about what AdSmoke is about.
So yeah, AdSmoke is a video ad network. What we do is we allow website owners with embedded videos, whether it be Vimeo, YouTube, what have you, we allow them to monetize by running 15 or 5-second commercials in front of that embedded content.
15 to 5-second commercials?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. So how would I go about doing something like that?
So what you can do is, again, we're in private beta now. You would come to adsmoke.com, sign up as a publisher, simply copy and paste your YouTube or whatever embedded content to AdSmoke. We'll give you a new code back. You paste it on your website, and what happens is when people come to your website, click on that embed or thumbnail, a 5 or 15-second commercial will play, and you get paid. Currently, we're in beta, so you won't get paid yet, but we're just testing things out at this point.
And what type of revenue would I see as a content producer?
So you look at anywhere from a $10 to $15 CPM per 1,000 impressions, or which equals about 1 to 1.5 cents per view. So something like that, around that range is what we expect.
Okay. And do you work in a Flash realm? Do you work in an HTML5 realm? What?
Yeah, everything's HTML5, and what you're really doing is you're embedding. We have this custom JavaScript is what AdSmoke is. When we swap out your YouTube code, really is we're giving you some custom JavaScript with a custom player, blah 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 blah, and that's what we're dealing with. We're in an HTML5 world.
Okay. If you're a YouTube, if you make a lot of money off of YouTube, do they see double revenue, or do they see your revenue over YouTube?
It would be a supplement to what they see on the YouTube Publisher Network. So in addition to what they would see for those views on YouTube, they would be seeing extra revenue from views from their website.
And is AdSmoke different from VidSmoke, or is it just, okay, tell us a little bit about the difference.
So AdSmoke is the mechanism that allows those website owners to monetize the traffic from embedded videos on their website, solely on their website. VidSmoke is our answer to YouTube. It's our own native video sharing platform, just like YouTube, except when you click on a video, it plays a commercial, but it's on our VidSmoke site. So again, just like YouTube, except we play those ads in front of videos. Unlike YouTube, we let everybody play. YouTube is a little bit selective of who they run ads in front of. We let everybody play in our space.
Okay. Where do people go to get a little bit more information?
So if you go to adsmoke.com, ADSMOKE.com, click on a little bit of about us. The information is there. And also people can register to be a part of our private beta.
Okay. And then when are you planning to go public?
To go public with the launch, we're looking at January of 2012 to go live.
Okay. All right. Well, Eric, thank you very much for your time, and adsmoke.com.
Adsmoke.com. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, you heard it here. AdSmoke, VidSmoke. If you want to add some extra revenue to your videos out there and work in different realms, there we go. AdSmoke and VidSmoke. For BlogWorld New Media Expo, this is Jeffrey Powers. All right, you heard about AdSmoke and VidSmoke. It was a great little program right there. You're seeing part of the floor here, and it looks like what we got. Looks like Chris Perillo. He's actually right behind me. He did his stream for the last few hours, so looks like he's eating. So we'll give him some sort of privacy. But of course, you can see some of the floor here. I'm trying to keep it as steady as possible here, but. You'll see some of the people here. They're talking. They're in the podcast pavilion right here. And it's a pretty small yet quaint little group here. So we had a lot of great sessions. We had a lot of great people out here that talked about blogging, that talked about podcasting, that talked about a lot more over at BlogWorld and New Media Expo, New York 2011. My name is Jeffrey Powers. I run Geekazine over at www.geekazine.com. You can go over there and check that out. In the meantime, we've got another video here. This time we're talking to Caroline from Posterous. And most of you might know what Posterous is out there, but for those of you who don't, well, you're going to find out in a second here. So let's cue up this video. Hacker. Caroline Hacker. That's awesome.
Great name.
It's okay. So it's not your original name.
I married into it.
Because if I was to marry you, I would have taken Hacker.
Taken
I would have
name.
taken your name.
Yeah, well,
so.
I have 2 sons, so we'll be carrying it on.
You got 2 hackers.
Yeah, exactly.
She's got hackers in her system. So.
Right.
Continuing coverage of BlogWorld New Media Expo. This is Jeffrey Powers with the Tech Podcast Network and Geekazine.com. We're here with Caroline Hacker. How you doing?
Great, thanks.
Okay, now you're with Posterous. I've used Posterous. I know a lot of people here have used Posterous. Why don't you tell the person who's going, what the heck is Posterous? What it's all about?
Right. Well, Posterous is quite simply the easiest way to share online. So think of it as a really dead simple blogging platform. But instead of having a futz with a template and layout and formatting, you just email it in, literally. Email in your post, your video, your photos, and it automatically, magically appears on your site, perfectly formatted. It could not be easier.
And that's pictures, that's audio, that's...
Wonderfully with all kinds of rich media, or just plain old text.
Okay. Now you've got some apps out there, including the iPhone app, right?
That's right, that's right. The iPhone app is really, really popular, and it basically just simplifies the process for our mobile users. But mobile or not, it really acts mobile because email is so ubiquitous for everybody on their smartphones now. So we find a lot of people emailing it in, phoning it in, so to speak.
Do you have a Posterous account?
I do, but funny thing is my son has about 9 of them, and he's 9 years old. And so it is simple enough he uses it for different school groups and different things, and you can set the privacy on a group site, so it's only for some of his study group friends. So we use it a lot as a family tool. We use it to share photos with Grandpa. And we don't have any public blogs, but
okay, yeah. So like for instance, if I have if I want to get the family together on my mom's side, family together on my dad's side, we go to Posterous and we create accounts. We can have some sort of crossover.
Here, you don't have to create an account. So you go to Posterous, you set it up, you just CC them, and they're automatically in your group.
No passwords. No. How old are you? Your source of income or anything?
They can receive your posts by just being CC'd. If they want to contribute to the blog and make comments, then they would sign up, yes.
Okay, and then
send photos to Grandpa. He never has to sign up.
Well, that's great. So Grandma and Grandpa, they don't have to do anything except read their
email.
Check their email, yeah, and they're doing anyway, exactly. So, and of course, they're also doing some Twitter now.
Let me know when you meet a grandparent on Twitter. I haven't.
Actually, I've met a few grandparents that are on Twitter. So.
I'm impressed.
So, and then of course there's a secret app that's coming out in 2 weeks that she can't talk about, but I'm going to talk about it. There's an app coming out in 2 weeks. That's all I know. So it's what I'm going to say.
Stay tuned. It's better than ever.
So, and it's coming out. What's the date on it? June.
We haven't set the release date, but it's going to be middle of June.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Now, if people want to find out a little bit more, they go to
Posterous.com.
And there's absolutely no fees involved in this.
Nothing at all. You don't even have to sign up to use it.
There you go. Okay, well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
For BlogWorld New Media Expo and Geekazine.com, Jeffrey Powers here. Thanks a lot for watching. All right, we are back. That was Caroline from Posterous.com. Welcome back to BlogWorld New Media Expo 2011, New York City. New York City, New York City. Yes, my name is Jeffrey Powers, and of course, you are here on the show floor. Last day, we've been doing a lot of interviews, and a lot more. I actually went and did some touring of the city. I have a couple friends in New York that I went to go see, and I did a couple tours of a couple places, and pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. We had a lot of great events here, and then of course in BlogWorld, and stopped over at TechCrunch Disrupt for a little bit. Got to talk to some of the vendors over there, but the majority of my time came over here for BlogWorld New Media Expo. How do you get to be coming to the next BlogWorld New Media Expo? Well, in November 5th, I believe it is, BlogWorld New Media Expo is in Los Angeles. So you can go over there and check that out at blogworldexpo.com. blogworldexpo.com. So in the meantime, we've got another interview here. Let's go into another. Let's see, which one do we want to do? Let's do the Groupon one. So you're gonna see Groupon here. And, of course, this is the interview coverage of Geekazine and the Tech Podcast Network of BlogWorld 2011 New York. And you are?
Carolyn Comet.
Carolyn? Okay. All right. 3, 2. Continuing coverage of BlogWorld New Media Expo. Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine and the Tech Podcast Network. We're here over at the Groupon booth with Carolyn. How you doing?
Doing well, thanks.
And, of course, well, why don't you tell people who have been living under a rock or maybe a different planet or something like that, what the heck is Groupon?
Groupon is probably the best daily deal site that's out there right now. We offer daily deals in over 300 markets. Chicago, New York, all the major metropolitan areas, but also some of the smaller cities as well.
Yeah, like Madison, Wisconsin.
Absolutely.
So basically, what people would go on to Groupon, and how would they get these deals?
So let's say that you're interested in seeing something, what's going on in Madison, Wisconsin. You would go to Groupon. It would automatically show you deals that were available in Madison. You can only buy that deal that day. So a lot of times the discount is going to be 50% or more. So it might be a $60 massage that you can get for $30.
Okay. Now you've launched something new that you're working in limited release, and it's going to be coming out soon. You got it in Chicago, for example. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. The product is actually called Chicago Groupon Now, and the way that it works is if you're out and about, or you're walking around and you're hungry, or you're bored, or you're looking for something to do, you can pull out your cell phone and instantly just find a deal that's right around you. The deal's only going to be valid for, maybe the next 4 hours or so, but it's going to be immediately relevant to right now at this very moment.
Okay, and is that for iPhone, for Android? Is all the major phones?
Definitely iPhone and Android, and hopefully soon the Windows 7 as well.
Windows 7. Okay. And what about Palm?
Okay, sure.
Anything else new coming down the pike that you can talk about?
Yeah, we're just expanding into more and more markets all around, and basically what we're here to do is, if you're a blogger, if you're on Facebook, or if you Twitter, and you tell people about a Groupon that you think is going to be interesting to them, we actually will pay commission on any sales that occur.
Okay, so if you heard that, you got a blog, you got a podcast, or something like that, you sign up for the affiliation program?
Mm-hmm. We're on Commission Junction. All you need to do is sign up, and then if you want to shoot us an email, just let me know. It's affiliate@groupon.com.
Okay, perfect. Otherwise, how do people get a hold of you guys? Is it Groupon.com?
Yep, Groupon.com.
Okay, and is there a Twitter for Groupon?
You can use, it's either @Groupon or @GrouponAff, AFF.
Is one of them actually talking about deals or anything like that?
So we'll have one Twitter account for every market, telling you about the deal that's in your market. But if you go to @GrouponAff, it kind of tells you about our affiliate program. So that's a portion of it that I do. All
right, perfect. Well, if you want a discount, if you're a podcaster or a blogger and need some extra revenue or anything like that, and just need a sub like myself because I'm getting kind of hungry, it's that time. So then Groupon is where you go for a great discount. Carolyn, thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely, thank you.
For the Geekazine podcast, or Geekazine Network and Tech Podcast Network at BlogWorld New Media Expo 2011, New York City, this is Jeffrey Powers. All right, we are back. Welcome to BlogWorld live in New York City. New York City, yes. My name is Jeffrey Powers. Thanks a lot for coming to the show. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for seeing the live show. We're here in New York City. We last day of BlogWorld, last couple of hours of BlogWorld. People are just kind of relaxing now. They went through the sessions. They went and they talked to the people, and now it's kind of time to relax. And a lot of cool stuff that happened at BlogWorld. Like, for instance, Network Solutions. Of course, they had Cloris Leachman be their, I guess, so Network Solutions girl, as the other company, GoDaddy, has Danica Patrick. So they were doing these pictures. Here's one of them. This is Lynette Radio right there, and her friends. And so I decided to go up there and take a few pictures. It took a little bit of figuring out first. To begin with, there's me grabbing Cloris Leachman's behind, and then the next thing is like, hey, how you doing, Cloris Leachman? How you doing over there? And then ultimately it was like, oh wait, let's get a smooch from you. So that's pretty much that in a nutshell. And of course they had a little photo booth. That was kind of cool to do. I saw how they did all that technology, and it looks like something that you can probably rent yourself on there. But of course, Network Solutions, one of the sponsors, many different sponsors here for BlogWorld New Media Expo. We're in the podcast pavilion, as you can see right here. Let's get a shot of the crowd once again, as they're kind of winding down, trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to do now? Getting ready for the evening parties and so on and so forth. We got the Yahoo booth over there. We've got Nooster Social Media Club is back there. We got Groupon back there. Paperly is back there. Of course, all the other ones. And it's just been a fun little event over there at BlogWorld. We're going to get you one more interview, and then we're going to get you on your way so you can go back to whatever you were doing. But, of course, if you want to make plans for BlogWorld Los Angeles 2011, let me know. Geekazine, that's right down there at Geekazine. And, of course, you can call me at 608-205-4378, and we'll get you... We'll figure out how we can get you to BlogWorld LA. Los Angeles, of course. Lots of great speakers there. If you're planning to do some speaking, you can put in a speaker proposal and go from there. So let's see. We got one more time for one more interview. And I think what we're going to do is, for all you podcasters out there, Audible.com. Actually, before I do that, I'm just going to thank my sponsors for the show. Of course, my big sponsor is, of course, GoToMeeting from Citrix. My friends over at Citrix, they said, "Hey, you're going out to these shows. Let's get you going there." Of course, GoToMeeting is such a great program. It's for a PC, it's for a Mac, you can use it for an iPad with and now they're going to have the FaceTime very, very soon. And it's never really failed me on any type of meeting. We use it at Tech Podcasts all the time. When we need to get on a meeting, we can set it up in minutes. We can go. It's like, hey, your GoToMeeting or my GoToMeeting session. Let's get it set up. Let's talk. Let's discuss. Let's do business right here, right now. So it's perfect for your business toolbox. Put it into your business toolbox because you're going to need it. You're never going to know when you need to talk to a client. You're not going to be in the same town. You might be right next door, but certain things would prevent you from going next door and talking to them, so you can set up a GoToMeeting session. It's just that simple. All you have to do is go over to GoToMeeting.com. This is a 30-day free trial. Go over to GoToMeeting.com, click the Try It Free Now button. There's a little button, it's orange, it says Try It Free, and at checkout, it's going to ask you for a promo code. Enter in the word podcast, 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 and that's going to get you 30 days of that great service. That's over at GoToMeeting.com. Thanks a lot, GoToMeeting. And of course, Telestream Wirecast. If it wasn't for Telestream, I couldn't do all this switching of the cameras. I couldn't do this really cool logo you see on the bottom there or anything. Telestream Wirecast, you want to do a mobile system professionally, there you go right there. Of course, this is the inaugural system on this MacBook Pro, so a little bit of jumpiness. I know what I need to do to fix it up. But for you to get Telestream Wirecast, all of my shows are done through Wirecast, all of my podcasts, you can go over to Telestream. And, of course, go over to Geekazine and click on the link, and that'll get you there. And, of course, that'll bring some love back to me. So, one more interview on you. This is the interview we are going to do is we're going to talk about Audible.com and their affiliation programs, especially for podcasters out there. If you're a podcaster, you might want to check this out. And here it goes. Continuing coverage of BlogWorld New Media Expo, Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine and the Tech Podcast Network. We're here with Sal over at Audible.com. Of course, Audible is the audiobooks on your iPhone, on your Android device, and of course on your computer. I've listened to many books myself, the 4-hour work week. What I like to do is I actually like to read and listen to the podcast at the same time, because then it keeps me all focused and stuff like that. But the one thing we've done on Geekazine in the past is we've had Audible as a sponsor. Of course, when we went to CES, we had Audible as one of our main sponsors. But they have a full affiliate program, and that's what Sal's going to talk about here is their affiliate program.
Yeah, Audible.com has a affiliate program run through Commission Junction. We pay out $25 per paid subscription and $10 for a free trial. It's a great way for blogs, websites to earn additional revenue streams while having a great advertiser on your site. It works really well for people that blog about books, obviously, but any type of content like business, finance, self-help, career management, entertainment, weight loss, anything you could think of. If that's your passion, Audible.com has content that's relevant to your visitors and is a great way to add additional content to your site. One of the other things that we're promoting here today is the podcast affiliate program as well. So if you have a podcast, you can also earn additional revenue, and we make it really easy and simple. We provide the podcast with a vanity URL. You can go to audibletrial.com/blogworld to learn more about it and sign up. What you can do there is do a live read right before your podcast saying today's podcast is sponsored by Audible.com and get your free audiobook, and we'll pay you $15 per free trial that people sign up at Audible.com for.
Okay, perfect. So, and it's all through Commission Junction, so you also have to open up a Commission Junction account?
For the affiliate program, it's through Commission Junction. The podcast program is a private network, and you'll see all of that at audibletrial.com/blogworld.
Okay, and that's the website that they go to. How long is that going to be up for?
Oh, that'll be up indefinitely. We're not going to take it down, so that page will exist for quite a while, and all the info will be there.
Okay, just wanted to make sure because some people actually will see this video weeks or months after the fact. So, all right, well there you go. If you're a podcaster and you want to give it a try, go over to Audible Podcast. No, one more time.
audibletrial.com/blogworld.
And of course you can do it. Of course, I'll have that link up on Geekazine, so just go up to geekazine.com or go to geekazine.com/audible, and that'll get you to that place where you can, or actually Audible Trial, and that'll get you to where you go from there. So, Sal, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too. For Geekazine and the Tech Podcast Network, this is continuing coverage of BlogWorld New Media Expo. Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine and the Tech Podcast Network. We're here with Sal over at Audible.com. Of course, Audible is the audiobooks on your iPhone, on your Android device, and of course on your computer. I've listened to many books myself, the 4-Hour Work Week. What I like to do is I actually like to read and... Okay. For some reason, that skipped back to the beginning. That was kind of weird. Welcome back to BlogWorld 2011. We're about to wrap it up. We did a few of the interviews. Of course, I did a lot more interviews than that. I did a few more interviews with some of the local people. We did a couple interviews for the OTT, which is one of the shows that I do over on Geekazine. Of course, if you want to check out anything on Geekazine, go over to www.geekazine.com. We got the weekly podcast, the 5 tech things you should know about, the OTT, the day in tech history, and a whole lot more over at geekazine.com. You can contact me using the Twitter, Geekazine. You'll see that down there. Or geekazine@gmail.com. I'd like to thank everybody for helping me out with this great week in New York City. I'll be flying back to Madison, Wisconsin tomorrow morning, and then, of course, put up the videos as quick as possible, as quick as my little fingers can type and get me going there. So that's it from BlogWorld New Media Expo, New York City 2011. I'm going to go eat some more cool pasta and have some dessert, and then we're going to have a nice little party tonight. We're going to enjoy the evening and my last night in New York City. So if you have any questions, feel free to Twitter me on Geekazine, and of course let me know if you plan to go to BlogWorld 2011 LA in November. Ladies and gentlemen, it should be a great time. And of course, if you live in a cold state, then you'll be able to warm up in Los Angeles. So that's it for me, Jeffrey Powers. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks to Lynette, who is taking a picture of me right now, because she, of course, this is her Twitter right here. That's why I kept this nice little blue mic. Of course, Blue Mike are friends of ours, so it was it's a really nice picture of the Yeti microphone. If you have any questions on that, but thanks a lot for everybody at BlogWorld, Patty and Lynette, for getting me into the podcast pavilion so we could do this 1-hour show with you guys. Until next time, you can check me out at geekazine.com. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you had a great time. I will see you next time on Tech Podcast Network and Geekazine. Take care.
Geekazine's special coverage of BlogWorld New Media Expo New York is brought to you by GoToMeeting. Go over to GoToMeeting.com, click the Try It Free Now button, and enter in the code PODCAST for a 30-day free trial for your Mac, for your PC, for your iPad. That's GoToMeeting.com. And by Telestream and Wirecast. Create TV-style content straight from your computer. Switch cameras, put in layers, and put in titles, all through this great program right on the fly. Go over to Geekazine.com, click on the Wirecast logos to find out more.